All right, so here's the free template that you can use any way you want to. I use this template for a quick workshop on how to build your own quiz questions. So it's pretty straightforward, but I'll go through some of the tips and tricks with this as in the same way that I would if I was doing the workshop. So first thing is you'll notice that there's like a basic file that just says just graphics. So this is kind of just the visual part of the template, right? So you can edit this. For example, you may not want the A, B, C, D part on there, or you may want to get rid of some of these and make these the same size. And I'll show you a few tips here in a second. So you've got this look. Here's a quiz question. So I took this and I did the convert to freeform and then turned this into a simple quiz question. So if we look at that, you'll notice they get little mouse overs. I make my choice. I hit submit, and then I get my little feedback box here, and then I can hit continue and continue through that. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. I went ahead and created a blank slide to work with because I don't want to mess up the template one. So go to blank slides. A couple things on the visuals. So one thing that's always important when you're working in Storyline is go to timeline and make sure you're titling things, right? So you've got everything titled. It's going to make sense when you're doing your convert to freeform. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to do a convert to freeform on this. So if I go to insert, convert to freeform, I'd do pick one, and then that I would select what I want to select on there. So that's how you do the convert to freeform. And what that's going to do is right now you just have a base layer. That's going to end up, if we look at this one here, it's going to end up creating a correct and incorrect slide layer. So I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a second as well. So we've got our graphics file here. A couple things with this. One is the titling. The other thing is, you know, you can change this around. It doesn't have to look this way. Let's say you only had 3 questions rather than 2 or 4. What you could do is you could get rid of this extra stuff, right? So we just select that, get rid of it, right? So you don't need that. We've got our line, which is a group here, so I can ungroup that line, and then I can get rid of this extra one here. Now here's a secret. I'm going to get rid of these letters here. But here's a secret. Like, let's say you want to have 3 ones and you want 3 of them. You want them like equally spaced, right? Let's say this is aligned, and we're actually going to make sure it's aligned. So we're going to select them. We go to Format. We're going to go to the Align tool. And what we're going to do is make sure they're equally distributed. So we can see that they're distributed. Once they're distributed, just hit Control G. That's going to group them, and then stretch them out so they're lined up. And now you can see you've got equal sizes and equal distance. Hit Control Shift G to ungroup them, and then just move these lines into place. Select it and just move them into place, and that part would be done for you, right? So, and again, you can just play around with the lines. I'm just going to keep them the way they are. So that's how you do that. When you're happy with them, you know, you're done. Same thing with the quiz question. You may not want these letters and stuff that kind of take up space. So you can do whatever you want to there. Let's say you're happy with this. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the Insert, Convert to Freeform, and we'll do a pick one, hit OK. And now what I have is a form, and what's going to be pickable. So we want A, B, or C. Now here's something you'll notice when I stretch these out. I want to make sure these are labeled A, B, C, so they should be. So there's rectangle A, rectangle B, and rectangle C. So these are my choices. I'm going to go ahead and make A my correct one, and then come back to slide view. Now you'll notice when I made that into a freeform question and go into states, these are set as selected states. So they created a selected state for me. I also want to mouse over, so I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things. So I'm going to go to Edit States. I'm going to create a hover state, and I just start typing in hover, and then it'll populate. So I do hover. Now the hover state, I'm going to go into my format here, and hover state, I actually want that to be this dark color next to it. So when I mouse over, it's gonna hover. And I actually want my selected state to be the same color, so I'm just going to do that as well. I'm going to get rid of the glow because I don't want the glow that's built there automatically. So just go to glow and no glow. I'm happy with this. Done editing states. Now I've got to do these. What I'm going to do is just go to Home, Format Painter, click, click, and now I have those there. So if we preview this, I have a... So I've got that mouse over state, and then I've got my selected state. So it's a little, a little subdued in the way that works. And then I hit submit, and I would get my feedback. Now you'll notice the feedback box looks a little bit different. To edit the feedback boxes, all you have to do is go into the View tab, go to Feedback Master, and then you have your correct and incorrect layouts. So I went ahead and went inside here. I'm actually going to change this because I noticed that I must have done something to the line weight. So I'm just going to make the line weight 4. And since I want it the same on the other one, I'm going to go to Home, Format Painter, click over here and do that on here as well. So let's close that out. And now I should see these have a stronger weight, so those lines aren't shown through like they were earlier. All right. And that's basically it. One other thing, these are all set up to work with the slide color scheming. So for example, right now it looks like this. If I go to the design, if I go to the design tab, the colors, you can see as I change colors, everything works with the different color schemes. So again, you can use these as you want to. They're pretty simple, but it's a great way to practice working with your own custom feedback masters and also building out a few different types of slide layouts.